Okay, let's go. Let's go. Okay. Okay, so good evening. How's it going? How y'all doing? Welcome to the stream. Okay. So, there has been clips of the debates. There has been clips of Candace Owens' debate with Andrew Wilson. Can I play music? That would be a copyright. I mean, what music do you want me to play? Nirvana Lover. What music? Because there will be a copyright claim. So that's why I can't play music. But I would like to play music on while going live. Nirvana. Let's see. Let's see, Nirvana. Yeah, I cannot play. YouTube will copyright claim me. So Bren tweeted, "Did you catch Candace panic here? Candace claimed Tyler parents think their son is innocent. Andrew asks obvious follow-up. Then why aren't they going on camera and saying it themselves? The lawyers told them not to. So how does Candace know what the parents think? Apparently they told her secret source, but wait, you just said his parents aren't going to the media to declare Tyler innocent. But apparently they're comfortable going to Candace and her super duper secret source. Andrew called BS. She froze, deflected, and refused to answer." So here.
I'm not going to address that.
They got it, but why aren't the parents disputing that?
No. Well, first in court, when they have a legal team that is going to be advising them not to speak to the court because your son could go to prison
forever. But they're playing to somebody else who's your source?
I'm not going to address that.
They're playing to someone else who's your source, but won't go publicly tell the media this is not true?
Well, what I did not say to you that I just said I have a source, so I want to be very clear, and take it from somebody who is involved and permanently sued about.
Yeah, but it's bizarre that they would utilize a source which would get the information to you, but wouldn't just go to the media and be like, actually, that's all wrong. If I thought that my kid was in any way, shape, or form going to be up, you couldn't shut me up. Or my wife, she would be like, that's not true. That's ridiculous. There's no possible. That never happened. These people are lying through their teeth. They'd be public whether you like it or not.
Violate the judge's orders and see what happened.
If you have a source, it seems like they're violating it with them.
I'm not speaking to a source, but what I am saying to you is speaking just relevant to what this is.
Seems like they're violating it with them.
I'm not speaking to a source, but what I am saying to you is speaking just relevant to what this is.
Okay. So this is a clip from the debate. And at the end of the day, the debate does not matter because Tyler Robinson case will be adjudicated in the court of law, not in the court of public opinion. And also, thank you for subscribing, Teddy. You will probably unsubscribe to me after the stream ends. So, like I'm saying, Tyler Robinson case will be adjudicated in the court of law, not in the court of public opinion. If Tyler Robinson defense team thought Candace Owens would be a useful asset, they would have asked for her help, or they would have asked her to join the defense team. Hello, Tashi Johnson. How are you? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. My goodness, goodness, goodness. So, Zcell tweeted, Nick Fuentes was right again. He is explaining how Jewish leftist Max Blumenthal of the Gray Zone created the Israel killed Charlie Kirk conspiracy to shift blame away from the far left. Even Nick Fuentes, who's anti-Israel, does not believe that narrative that Israel killed Charlie Kirk. It was a far lefty. He was a person who was consumed by the far left. Tyler Robinson was consumed by the far left, which what drove them to kill Charlie Kirk. Okay, so here.
Really happened after Charlie. And they're putting a label on it, which is, well, this is just what it is to be anti-Israel. And they've been doing it for a long time. You know when they really started to do this? There's a very specific point in time, I believe, and no one talks about this, when they started doing this, and that was September 10th, 2025. Charlie Kirk was killed by Tyler Robinson. He was. Tyler Robinson's transgender boyfriend sold him out. His parents turned him in. His DNA was found at the scene of the crime. His grandparents' gun was found in the bush, discarded after the killing. Tyler Robinson was the killer. He confessed. And what was Tyler Robinson? He was part of the radical left. He was in left-wing Discord servers. He organized with left-wing students. He was one of these people that would have been in favor of Zohran Mamdani. He's a radical left, trans liberation, socialist progressive, hick lib. That's what he was. He killed Charlie Kirk.
Oh, shoot. Fudge.
A label on a college event. And the mandate was unequivocal, which is...
Okay, I have to replay it
And they're
again.
putting a label on it, which is, well, this is just what it is to be anti-Israel. And they've been doing it for a long time. You know when they really started to do this? There's a very specific point in time, I believe, and no one talks about this, when they started doing this, and that was September 10th, 2025. Charlie Kirk was killed by Tyler Robinson. He was. Tyler Robinson's transgender boyfriend sold him out. His parents turned him in. His DNA was found at the scene of the crime. His grandparents' gun was found in the bush, discarded after the killing. Tyler Robinson was the killer. He confessed. And what was Tyler Robinson? He was part of the radical left. He was in left-wing Discord servers. He organized with left-wing students. He was one of these people that would have been in favor of Zohran Mamdani. He's a radical left, trans liberation, socialist progressive, hick lib. That's what he was. He killed Charlie Kirk. And what immediately happened after Charlie Kirk died is all of a sudden there was a mandate from an angry nation, which was unequivocally destroy the radical left. Everybody in America was horrified by the violence. Everybody other than the most extreme elements on the left. Young people and old people, black people and white people, men and women, boys and girls, gay people. Everybody was horrified that Charlie Kirk was gunned down, gushing blood out of his neck at some campus college event. And the mandate was unequivocal, which is find the culprit, destroy them. And that's exactly what the government was going to do. Didn't they say Stephen Miller and Vance were on the case and they were going to root out and destroy DSA in these socialist cells across the country? But then what happened? What happened right after that is all of a sudden everybody started to muddy the waters and blame it on Israel. Suddenly there was this narrative that people were wearing maroon and there were these Egyptian planes chasing Charlie Kirk and there were a bunch of Israelis there. And what about the angle from behind him? Didn't Charlie Kirk didn't he just crash out on Bill Ackman? Would you like to know where this narrative originated? The narrative that Charlie Kirk was killed by Israel originated in the gray zone with Max Blumenthal. Max Blumenthal is a Jew. Max Blumenthal used to work for the SPLC, the Huffington Post, Slate, the most far-left publications that are out there. And you think this guy criticizes Israel? He was out there doing hit pieces against David Irving, the Holocaust, the World War II historian that happens to be a Holocaust revisionist for the SPLC. He's a radical leftist. He's a socialist. And Max Blumenthal is the one who initially promulgated the false narrative.
What I disagree with Nick Fuentes is when he said Tyler Robinson was trans. Tyler Robinson was not trans, but he had a trans. He has, if they are still dating, he has a trans furry boyfriend.
In the gray zone, that Charlie Kirk might have been killed by Israel. Max Blumenthal made up the story that Bill Ackman crashed out on Charlie Kirk. He made up the story that Netanyahu tried to pay Charlie Kirk $200 million to stop criticizing Israel. Neither of those things were true. Bill Ackman brought the receipts. It turns out that Charlie Kirk asked for a meeting with Bill Ackman, selected the people that attended the meeting. And all those people then went on a trip to Israel after the retreat. This $200 million contribution was never corroborated by any other source. But that was the story that everybody took, Candace Owens included, and it was off to the races. And you know who else was pushing this narrative all over social media? The American Communist Party. The American Communist Party, headed up by Hazal Dink and that other nitwit Jackson Hinkle. Those were the people that were the shock troops pushing it on Twitter, and that's because maybe some people have suggested that Tyler Robinson was in their Discord server. So whose head would have been rolling on the floor? Whose head would have been rolling down the steps had the government and society been unified against the radical left? It probably would have been those people that were pushing this narrative that it was anybody other than the radical left that did the killing. That's how it started. But then it kept rolling on and on. When the socialist Nicolas Maduro was extradited from Venezuela, who was out there saying that was an Israeli op? The far left. When ICE killed those two protesters and Hasan Piker and the radical left in Minneapolis were firebombing ICE facilities and attacking ICE and attacking Border Patrol, what did they say then? They said, well, ICE is trained by Israel. It's an Israel issue. And this is the pattern. The left is pushing their agenda everywhere, always, their ideological agenda. They're pushing their agenda covering up the murder of Charlie Kirk. They're pushing their agenda covering for Cuba and Venezuela. They're pushing their agenda covering for these Somalian migrants in Minneapolis. And in every single case, they hide behind Israel. And they say, oh, the left didn't kill Charlie Kirk. That was Israel. Oh, you think the left did it? What are you, with Israel? We didn't remove Nicolas Maduro because he's aligned with China and Russia. No. We removed Maduro because of Israel. What are you, with Israel? You support American empire? You're with Israel? Same thing with ICE. Oh, you don't support Somalians stealing all the tax money and sending it to their country? What are you, with Israel? ICE trained with the IDF, you know. What are you, with this pro-Israel administration? This is what the left is doing. They are taking their ideology, they're bundling it with Israel criticism, and this is like a...
I agree with Nick Fuentes. Hello, Mose Doofy. How's it going? Israel did not kill Charlie Kirk. Yeah, so you agree with me. Israel did not kill Charlie Kirk. People are grifting. People just understand the grift. People, especially like Candace Owens, understand the grift. When the prosecutors debunked her claim that Tyler Robinson was not at UVU campus the day Charlie Kirk was assassinated, Candace Owens doubled down and she came up with a new cuckoo theory that there was like multiple Tyler Robinson look-alike. And I even covered this like a while back. And it was funny. Okay. So, let's see. You know what? Let me say something. Reject the far left. Reject the extreme wing of the Democratic Party, the far left. If I were to say, who am I more afraid of, the far left or the far right, I would probably say the far left, because they are crazy. And the far left, hold on 1 second. The far left, Tyler Robinson was consumed by the far left, which what drove them to kill Charlie Kirk. He was consumed by the extreme wing of the Democratic Party. Okay, so let's continue. So Nick Mattu tweeted in August 15, all of the Candace Owens cult is salivating over the 7-charge claim, but they don't realize Candace, who obviously memorized this to get her gotcha clip like Tucker did with the 92 million-ish, messed up herself in a bigger way against Paleo Chris Khan when she mentioned charge 2. She said felony discharge, not one that causes seriously bodily injury. FYI, that is also why she refused to read the entire charge. Watch the clip. Yes, normally I'll think this is pedantic, but in this case, she's being a hypocrite. The difference between that is much bigger than the difference between murder and aggravated murder. Receipt below. So here.
All 7.
So this is Nick Mattu tweet. Okay, so here, let's go.
I'm happy to do that, but can you name one?
I think he's been charged with murder.
That's actually incorrect.
Okay, great. Now name all 7.
The first charge is aggravated murder because that's what carries
Okay.
a death sentence
So
in the
murder.
state of Utah. No,
Next.
that is literally not murder. Second charge is the felony discharge of a weapon. The next,
Murder. You just say aggravated murder. That's the distinction. You just want to.
it's a massive, it's
Got
like
it.
you cannot
Massive.
say aggravated murder, felony discharge of a firearm.
All 7.
I'm happy to do that, but can
Okay, so. Okay, so let's keep going. Yeah. So Natalie Jean Beisner said Candace got upset by how many times Andrew showed clip of Erika. 3 whole times, whoop-de-doo. But Candace did an entire hate part series specifically on Erika and then has mentioned her 100, if not thousands of times in her show outside of that specific series. She arguably spent the past 11 months talking about this woman and objectively has spent the last 8 months talking about her. Once again, gotta trash hold everyone else to a standard she does not hold herself. And what I also find ironic is people like Echoes from Above and who is a Candace Owens stance, they want to say that guys like Jeremy Boring talks about Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson a lot when they have video where they don't. Guys like Echoes from Above say that people are obsessed with Candace Owens, that they cannot let her go. But Candace Owens is the one who's obsessed with Erika because when you check her channel, she talks about Erika Kirk, Turning Point USA almost every day. And people usually cover Candace Owens when they make headlines. Guys like Jeremy Boring cover Candace Owens when she makes headline. Okay, so here, so what is this?
to another sphere, and you want to talk about the transcendentals and things that I've
And we
said.
got through-
And like 4 out of 5 of your clips are about Erika Kirk. So the general
I don't think 4 out of 5
perception
even were.
is your turning points horse.
Oh,
I
so you
think
just-
quite a
just-
few
you
of
just-
them were.
you
Were
just-
there 3
just made it
Erikas
up?
or 4?
So you're just making stuff
Can
up?
we get a count of how many were about Erika? I feel like
It was 3.
3. Okay,
Yeah,
3. I
3.
said 4.
But those are extraordinary
sorry.
claims. That's which
To another.
Yes. The only person who's obsessed with Erika Kirk is Candace Owens. People rarely talk about her. I rarely talk about her. Okay. Okay, so you know what? Let's just switch to the NBA. 17 hours ago, Shams Charania tweeted, breaking news. Philadelphia 76ers star Joel Embiid has suffered a torn meniscus in his left knee and is expected to miss the entire 2026-2027 NBA season. Sources tell ESPN. Embiid and the Sixers are evaluating surgical options with a procedure expected. So here. Joel Embiid. But whatever. So this is the excuse the Sixers can make if they don't win the NBA championship, that Joel Embiid was injured. Because according to the reports, he is expected to miss the entire 2026-2027 NBA season. So this is the excuse LeBron sycophant can make and Sixers fan can make. No, just LeBron sycophant in general. Because the pressure is on him to win a championship. Okay, so let's see. Hasan Piker. So Nick Mattu tweeted, Hasan Piker praises Candace Owens for pushing the narrative that Israel killed Charlie Kirk, redirecting blame from the radical left. She successfully and single-handedly undermined the Republican initiative to crack down on left-wing dissent, so I'm with her. Yeah, so Hasan Piker, who's on the left, is happy with it because the right likes to talk about left-wing violence. So Candace Owens has united the woke right and the woke left, the far left and the far right. So here's the clip.
I wouldn't say that I'm on her side on this issue. I am, let's just say I'm spiritually on the sidelines on this. Because, like, on the one hand, my brain tells me something entirely different than what my heart is championing. If you know what I mean, okay? If you're picking up what I'm putting down. On the one hand, I want to be logical. I want to be rational about this case. But then on the other hand, I'm thinking to myself, I can't speak out against this queen. I mean, I can't speak out against this queen because this is a queen that successfully and single-handedly undermined the Republican initiative to martyrize Charlie Kirk and use that example to crack down on political dissent. She dropped a grenade on the discourse. So I'm with her. It's hard. It's hard for me. My brain says, no, it's probably Tyler Robinson. But my heart says, go, Candace, go. Keep cooking. You know? Does that make sense? I'm on the sidelines. I don't even want to course correct. I don't.
Okay. So the far left and the far right are uniting. Whatever. So Branden Grill released an ad. I don't know who that person is. Not enough politicians tell you how it is, but this is the straight truth. Right now, I desperately need support because what we're fighting for is more than an election. Okay, so let's see what he got to say. So here, so this is his ad. Oh shoot, my bad.
I don't care if they call me racist. In fact, I couldn't care less what people who hate our country think of me. For decades, the left has used magic words like bigotry, racism, and all these other isms to shut down debate. These are the words they use when they know their position on any issue is indefensible. Like their position on immigration, the idea that being an American is nothing more than your physical location. They'll argue all day long that a nation having borders is essentially a racist idea. Their game is to convince people that the moderate position on immigration is actually the radical one. But for the entirety of our country's history, up until the last decade or so, every sane person knew the truth. First, immigration should be viewed only through one lens. Does this benefit the American people? Any other question really is immaterial. Second, American citizenship is a privilege, not a right automatically granted to any person on earth the second they demand it. Third, American culture is good and beautiful. American values are worth protecting. America, in its essence, is worth protecting against a massive flood of permanent residents who don't care about the things that made this country uniquely great. Despite the fact that this was conventional wisdom for all of American history until this generation of radical leftists came into power, I'm being attacked on a level I never thought I'd see. They're even coming after my family. If they get the chance, they'll knock me out and keep me out of the fight. If you agree with any of what I just said, if you're tired of being called nasty names for loving your country, the link to support me is right here. You'll know what to do from there.
Okay. Okay, so what I will say is, what the radical left, the woke left, the far left, whatever you want to say, believes in, I disagree with what they, I don't think we should have open border, and I don't think we should abolish police and abolish ICE. I think we need reform. We need police reform, and we need just police reform. That's all. And I said that before, and I'll say it again. The reason why people are consumed by the far left, the reason why lefty are moving far, are consumed by the far left, it's because they are tired of losing. It's because they're tired of Republican winning. Or they don't like Republican ideas. Okay. That's just my theory. Okay, so let's see. So Bren tweeted, Candace Owens act like she's the smartest person in the room. Andrew repeatedly asked her for evidence. That's ruffle a feather. That's how he works with egotistical maniac. They don't just think you're dumb, but they actually think you're so far beneath them that questioning them is an act of insubordination. Like I said before, and I will say it again, Candace Owens understands the grift. The moment I realized that she just understands the grift and she's just grifting is when the prosecution debunked her claim that Tyler Robinson was not at UVU campus the day Charlie Kirk died. And then she doubled down and came up with that theory that there was multiple Tyler Robinson look-alike.
So I'm going to move on.
Okay, so here.
On from that, but is taking items from his house and putting it into various
But it
places.
also could demonstrate nothing. So the problem that you have here is that this is pure conjecture.
No,
this is not evidence that Tyler Robinson is a patsy. It's only evidence that you have conjectured up that, if it's the case that these are the more degraded prints, then therefore that means must be patsy because parents' dad's fingerprints on gun?
I didn't say must be
Describe
present.
how this actually links in to Robinson being a patsy.
Okay, I just described that for you, so I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you, so I'm going to move on from that.
Okay, whatever. Damdance Slowen. So Natalie Jean Beisner tweeted 42 minutes ago, and she quoted Andrew Wilson. She said, "Your official timeline includes a stakeout stop that has not actually been confirmed at all. Candace, it hasn't even been discussed by the prosecution. So it's not like you're debunking it. Candace MO is basically, if you can't disprove me, then I'm right. She's allowed to make wild and baseless claims that never verified or substantiated. But as long as you can't debunk her, it's fine. Never mind the fact it's hard to disprove wild and baseless speculation unsupported by fact and evidence." So here.
That includes your official timeline, Candace Owens' official timeline includes a steakhouse stop that has not actually been confirmed at all.
Well, yeah, it hasn't even been discussed by the prosecution, so it's not like you're debunking that it happened.
Well, there's no evidence for it. There's no good evidence for it at all. There's no camera there. And the steakhouse receipt itself has never been confirmed to be Tyler Robinson's.
I'm assuming this is just like a talking point they gave you, and you got to like keep pushing this, or like.
I've been following it very closely on X.
The receipt, you weren't even following the charges of Tyler Robinson, but you really wanted to know. I've been following it very closely on X.
Wait, you think
I'm calling owners of steakhouses and having a conversation. You're following Congo on X.
I literally followed the entire trial, or the preliminary, live. I was live with an attorney. We covered all of it. You think because I have a momentary or lapse where I'm like, oh, it's murder? No, it's aggravated murder. Come on. Your official timeline, Candace Owens' official timeline includes.
Okay. There's nothing Candace Owens can do about it. Tyler Robinson will get convicted. That's my opinion, and I could be wrong. Okay, so what else? Okay, so Raven Grace tweeted on August 15 that I think Candace is confused. Charlie met Erika and started dating in September 2018 and had taken her to Hawaii that same month. Candace didn't meet George until December 18. I believe they met before, but let's go with her timeline. So Erika and Charlie were dating before you even met George. Didn't you already have a boyfriend and you left him for George? Ryan, remember Ryan, wing woman. You said Candace, he asked you to leave in May. So you and Erika for 5 months that you were, they never had a relationships? Weird. You were so close to him that you never went to dinner or out during at least that 5 months. In 7 years, you never met their kids. You weren't invited to the wedding, but you didn't even have a relationship with his family. Interesting. Candace, baby, the relationship with Charlie wasn't what you say it is. We've been told what really happened. You were upset was now there. I am reading someone tweet. I did not say Candace, baby. I'm reading someone tweet. So here. This is somebody's tweet I'm reading. It's not me who said Candace, baby. So here, I play the clip.
I don't know who to trust the organization, and I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I didn't want to.
Just out of curiosity, before anything happened with Charlie, how close were you and Erika?
Not very close.
So there's not a relationship?
No, I would say it's totally normal. Like, it's not like there was any issues at all. We were always nice to each other. It just is, our life went to a different phase, right? So Charlie and I hitting the ground, running around, traveling 4 days a week. Now I get married. I find love of my life. I get married and I get pregnant. I've been pregnant. I haven't stopped being pregnant. And what you want out of life changes. You don't want to be running around for 4 days a week and traveling on a plane nonstop. You suddenly want to start building at home and live. I was desiring that suburban life.
Did you guys ever do the double dates? You, George, her, and Charlie? Was there ever double dates between the four of you?
I was, engaged to George quickly. We were planning our wedding. I was kind of in my bubble with George. George traveled with me and Charlie, but Erika and him were just starting to date at the beginning of 2019. George and I were planning our marriage. Mm-hmm. So George really got to know Charlie. I wouldn't say that I really got to know Erika. I was just rooting for them because I knew how much Charlie wanted to, find love. And so I was kind of his wing woman throughout that phase. And I was just happy. And I never was under the impression, obviously, that they were going to get married when they were dating. I don't know who to trust the organization. We were always nice to each other. It just is, our life went to a different phase, right? So Charlie and I hitting the ground, running around, traveling 4 days a week. Now I get married. I find love of my life. I get married and I get pregnant. I've been pregnant. I haven't stopped being pregnant. And what you want out of life changes. You don't want to be running around for 4 days a week and traveling on a plane nonstop. You suddenly want to start building at home and live. I was desiring that suburban life.
Did you guys ever do the double dates? You, George, her, and Charlie? Was there ever double dates?
There we go.
I was, engaged to George quickly. We were planning our wedding. I was kind of in my bubble with George. George traveled with me and Charlie, but Erika and him were just starting to date at the beginning of 2019. George and I were planning our marriage. So George really got to know Charlie. I wouldn't say that I really got to know Erika. I was just rooting for them because...
Candace knew Charlie before George.
Because I knew how much Charlie wanted to find love. And so I was kind of his wing woman throughout that phase. And I was just happy. And I never was under the impression, obviously, that they were going to get married when they were dating. So it wasn't like I was conscious. I didn't really need to get to know this person. And so it was just kind of normal that by that time, because of where I was in my life, that I wasn't spending any time getting to know Erika, per se.
So the complicit part about Erika...
Okay, whatever. Dang. Peel Davis tweeted 7 hours ago. She tweeted an hour ago, excuse me. The only reason Candace Owens has a job is because women and Sims watch her. Women control all the spending power and makes stupid people famous. Okay, so Peel is part of the red pill. The red pill. Oh my goodness. Oh, whoa. Holy smoke. It's only like, 7:35 p.m. here in Virginia, and I feel tired for whatever ridiculous reason. Even though I took a nap at I took a nap at 2 o'clock p.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. and I feel tired for whatever ridiculous reason. So pro-American politics, I agree with pro-American politics. Unpopular take, Ben Shapiro will rip Candace Owens to shred in a debate. It will be hilariously bad, which is why Candace will never do it. I actually agree with her. I actually agree with him. I agree with pro-America politics tweet. Ben Shapiro will rip Candace Owens in a debate, especially our Tyler Robinson debate. No, especially the debate about Tyler Robinson. I think Ben Shapiro will destroy her easily. Because she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. And I said it before and I will say it again. I'm the only one who is stupid enough to think Candace Owens can win the presidency in 2028 if she were to run. I'm the one who's stupid enough to think that. Okay. Okay. So this is Tucker Qatarlson. So pro-American politics tweeted 3 hours ago. Tucker Carlson, I will also call him Tucker Qatarlson. So Tucker Qatarlson looks angry, screaming and yelling like a madman. Tucker has changed. This is not the same man we used to know. His real derangement syndrome destroyed people. So sad. Yeah, his real derangement syndrome does destroy people. Me, I don't have Israel derangement syndrome. I have Israel fatigue syndrome. That's different. Okay, so here's Tucker Qatarlson looking angry.
You've got it so good, you don't know how good you've got it. And if you can't see that, the problem is you. So stop complaining, bitch. You little whiner. Get to work. Retirement? What? That's for ungrateful people. Get back to work. Eat your Del Taco. They're only $4.50. Your parents would have been grateful for a $4.50 Del Taco. Getting out after 18 hours in the spinning mill. They were only 9 years old. They didn't have Del Taco then. So you've got it so good, you don't know how good you've got it. And if you can't see that, the problem is you. So stop complaining, bitch. You little whiner. Get to work. Retirement? What? That's for ungrateful people. Get back to work.
I mean, it's not good for Tucker to have Israel derangement syndrome. He should have Israel fatigue syndrome.
Eat your Del Taco. They're only $4.50. Your parents would have been grateful for a $4.
Okay, so I'll just move on. So Steven Lancaster for 11 months, tweeted for 11 months, we've repeatedly heard how deeply she loved Charlie. We've heard how they were supposedly best friends. We've heard that she's the only person who cares enough to uncover the truth. But now it's worth asking, how much of that really was how much of that was really about seeking the truth and how much was about money? I think it was about the money. It is the same thing with Christo Aivalis. The reason why Christo Aivalis talks about Trump every single day, where he doesn't really do any analysis on any of his video, is because his audience is stupid and his audience don't watch past the thumbnails and the clickbait titles. And he made a lot of money talking about Trump, Christo Aivalis. So the same thing can be applied to Candace Owens. She doesn't really care about Charlie Kirk. She cares about making money. She cares more about money than uncovering the truth. That's why she's incapable of backing any of her statements with evidence. So she cares about clicks and money. And I've noticed people are tuning out. Because at her peak, in the peak of her investigative series of Charlie Kirk, she was averaging 4 million to 5 million views. Now she just barely cracking 1 million. And it takes several hours for her to reach 1 million views. But during the peak of her investigation, she reached 1 million views in less than an hour. People are waking up. The moderate case, so PBD did a poll and he asked people, who do you think won the debate? 69% say Candace, 31% Andrew. And the moderate case tweeted, wrong. Andrew won all of the interactive polls that were put up on the live debate. This is an aftermath poll, which is clearly going to be skewed and influenced by Candace simply given her audience compared to Andrew. I don't think either one of them won the debate. I mean, I did not watch the debate. I saw some clips here and there, but I don't really think Andrew played more offense than defense on that debate. He did not bring up the Egyptian plane and then force her to defend her arguments. You know what? Let me rephrase. I want to rephrase. So, Andrew did not bring up the Egyptian plane, and he did not bring up that edited pictures that was not Tyler Robinson. And then Andrew overall was more defensive than offensive. Okay. So let's move on from Candace and Andrew. So, outspoken Samantha tweeted 31 minutes ago, on Ange, low T liberal men say to avoid these items when shopping at Costco because the higher up for those brands support the Republican platform. Lucky for us, now we know which products to buy and brands to support. Ziploc, Kirkland, Signature Dry Cat, and Dog Cats. Product by Koch Industry, Vanity Fair napkins, and soft quilted. Northern Brownie, you know what, just here. So this is outspoken Samantha tweet. So here.
I'm back at Costco today to look at Republican brands that are sold in the store so you know which ones to avoid. So let's go take a look. First, we have Ziploc. Ziploc is owned by SC Johnson. SC Johnson, along with their senior leaders and other employees, give overwhelmingly to the Republican platform. Next, we have Kirkland Signature Dry Cat and Dog Food. Costco's dry dog and cat food is manufactured by Diamond Pet Foods. Now, Diamond Pet Foods is an independent company. They're family-owned. They don't give to politics. However, those family members and their senior leaders at the company give overwhelmingly to the Republican platform. They've donated over $100,000 in election cycles, and in the history of their company, they basically have given $0 to Democrats. Perhaps one of the largest contributors to the Republican Party is Koch Industries, which owns Georgia Pacific. This is very different than Coca-Cola. This is KFCH. Georgia Pacific owns Vanity Fair, Angel Soft, Quilted Northern, Brawny, Sparkle, Mardi Gras, and Dixie. They also own a professional line of products called Marathon. And sadly, Costco sells so much extra much.
Okay, whatever. Okay. So Jazmine summed up the debate. Andrew, do you have evidence? Candace, you're not my daddy. That's all it was the entire time. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Jazmine is right. Based on the clip I seen. Andrew could have looked much better if he pressed Candace Owens on all the claims she made. And he could have called her out on her not walking back from her statement when she said Tyler Robinson was not at UVU campus the day Charlie Kirk was killed. Because she never corrected that claim. She walked back from that claim. Erika tweeted, there's an account user that goes by Erika. She said Candace demanding proof is peak comedy. I mean, yes, it is peak comedy. So Nick Mattu tweeted 22 hours. When Candace said no one sent me a text message during the debate or feed me answer, she probably lied according to my source. And there was actually a clip of her showing no one showed her text message. But Nick Mattu said, my source said that the text message was sent and deleted by George, who has full access to her phone and can control her text, confirmed by Candace. With full confidence, meaning not actual full confidence, just full confidence that I am thinking Candace should go straight to jail, as in Monopoly, be sit down and question, of course. And it is why I find it impossible to not find her complicit, as in not complicit, but like that she might be misleading people. If you come at me, then that means you're telling me how to think, and I am allowed to think. So this is what Nick Mattu said. This is like a 56-minute clip.
Okay, major breaking news about the Candace Andrew debate. According to my source, when Candace said to Andrew, no one sent me a text message during the debate or feed me answers, she probably lied, according to my source, who is familiar with Candace's team in that room. My source said that the text message was sent and deleted by George before Andrew was able to see it, or PBD, who George has full access to Candace's phone and can send text messages from Candace's phone, confirmed by Candace, even when she's holding the phone. With full confidence, meaning not full confidence, just full confidence that I'm thinking, of course, Candace should go straight to jail. As in Monopoly jail, be sit down and question, of course, is what I mean by that. And it is why I find it impossible to not find her complicit in Charlie Kirk's murder. As in, not complicit, but like that she might be misleading people is, of course, what I mean by that. And if you come at me for this and you think I'm lying, then that means you're telling me how to think, and I'm allowed to think. Okay, major breaking news about the
Yeah, but me, I don't really know how you can. I don't really know how you can have control of the phone. I mean, she had her phone with him. How does George have access to her phone? So George sent a text message and he deleted it. But you know what? Whatever. Okay, so I will end the stream. I'm about to end the stream. And I don't even think Andrew Wilson lost. I think Andrew Wilson just didn't have a good debate. Okay, so I'm about to go now. My goodness. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to do one more tweet and then I'm just going to shut it down. For all people spreading this, so this is Jen, the producer. For all the people spreading this BS narrative around, this is just proof you either do not listen to your cult leader, Candy, or you don't care about evidence. Candace was the one who clarified the misunderstanding in episode Erika, and now I sat down. Candace herself said Erika looked at the text and did not see the messages because they were sent in either Signal or Telegram, no text. And Candace is also the person who conveniently said they are trying to kill me when she was told the left is trying to kill me. She lies daily and you believe it. So here.
Charlie responded with
Erika said that she has.
Charlie responded with this. Okay, great. Remind them that they are there for one person's security only, because I'm somewhat worried the left is trying to kill me. That was a message sent September 9th.
But he was not messaging people the day before saying, I'm going to be murdered. They're coming after me. Someone's going to kill me. He didn't say that. And I have his cell phone.
Charlie responded with this. Okay, great.
I didn't hear.
Remind them.
Charlie's phone. She's looking at his iMessages, and it turns out that he, like everybody else, communicates on Signal. He communicates on Telegram, and that those when she heard me say that, they then went and looked, and yes, that what I said was true. Andrew Colbert received a message the night before, and Dan Flood received a message the night before. Now, they asked me if I had actually like a concrete a copy of what Dan Flood got the night before, and I said no. Somebody told me what it said, which was almost exactly what Andrew said, which is they're going to kill me. Andrew did not know who they were, that he was referring to were, but they clarified that the message that Dan Flood received said the left is going to kill me. So I can't confirm that one way or the other. I have to trust them on that because I did not see that concrete message. I was told that it said they. And Erika's.
Okay, so I'm just ending the stream now. Holla. I meant to say holla, man.